Live now.
Oh, hey, Mark.
Hey, Ray. Hey, Peggy.
Hi.
Peggy's here too.
I don't see it.
You don't see it?
It'll come up in a minute. It takes it a second
Oh,
to
a
get
minute.
Just a second, huh?
rolling.
Okay.
Okay.
Then there's a delay too. We're being recorded, right?
Yep, I see it. It's on.
Let me scroll down a little bit. Welcome everybody who all's here. I don't know if there's very many people here, but I'm
Oh,
gonna
we're
try.
here. That's what matters.
Yes, I'm gonna try and get this something going here.
So, Ray, what are we looking at?
You're looking at a photograph. Let's see now. You're looking at a high contrast photoshopped version of this photograph that I've done some things to. And what I want to do is I want to talk about the power of Photoshop and how to use it for NOTANs and designing a painting. This happens to be the painting that I'm going to demonstrate Thursday, September 14th on a Zoom webinar with Mark Daniel Nelson and Peggy Cole Roberts will be there. And my big thing is to think in terms of light and dark shapes, and shapes are really big in my book. I try to design with shapes. I try to design with the contours of shapes, and a lot of times I do a lot of prep work in Photoshop, and I won't go to the extent of making a high contrast image, but I did with this one just to show. Excuse me, just a second. Just to show how my thought process for making this. Oh my gosh, I lost the original on that. Well, there's the original. And in Photoshop, oh, Mark, when I made that layer, I lost that history thing. Well, so what I've done is I've stretched it out to make it look more wide angle. You go to thresholds and you can see where there's a slider there, and you can do thresholds on your original photograph and just make it black and white. And when I did this, well, this is the original. I darkened the sky to see that, but what I've done here is I've made the bottom a little bit longer, and I made the top a little bit smaller. Got rid of the sky. I had all the history done on this and it's gone now, but I can just show you what I did was, yeah, I got rid of this sky here. Taking a white brush mark, and I made this smaller up here. Transform. And then I made the bottom part window. Oh, come on now. Layers. Sorry, folks, I've got a lot of different windows open here, and I made the bottom part bigger. Zoomed in on it. Image, transform, free transform.
So Ray, do you subconsciously make these kinds of adjustments or consciously when you are plein air painting as well? Do you kind of think, although I guess you wouldn't know so much, right? Because it's not a photograph in the first place. You're just kind of looking at it. But do you find that modifying those proportions is just something you do naturally?
No. It's taken me a lot of time. I actually had to study this picture to decide. I had to come back with a fresh eye 2 or 3 days later to decide what I wanted to do with it. One thing, I've got my sketch right here. This is the scene. This is the painting. This is my setup, and I'm going to use the black and white version to sketch out my dark shapes. As you can see, I originally had planned to use I originally planned on using this photograph, but I didn't like the way that the fingers kind of at the bottom sort of stopped at the edge, and I wanted to continue. I wanted to try to continue, and I also noticed that this area right here was roughly the same mass as this area right here, equal shapes. It's almost like there's 3 equal sized shapes right here, and I wanted to vary them and make them a little bit more interesting. So that's when I came up with this approach. I made the top shape. I made that smaller and narrower. Image. I made this smaller here. I'm going to go back and get rid of this black line right here. And I am going to make that this middle mesa a little bit bigger. I'm going to grab this whole area right here and make this bigger. And that's where I came up with, I think it's going to be a more interesting painting by making this bigger down here.
Really warmed up the colors. The colors are so much warmer.
Oh, from the original?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's it. That's basically that's the power of using Photoshop and figuring out your no-tan. I'm really focusing on the contour and the character of these shapes here, and the overall mass. It's easy to see how much shadow you have versus light, dark versus light. You can see the character of the shapes when you've done this, and it's the method that I work with, and it's something that I'll cover more extensively in that workshop in September 14th. So that's all I wanted to share, and try this, and please let me know how you folks like that. All right.
All right. Thanks, Ray. And everybody, I've just placed the link to sign up for Ray's class, the Vermilion Cliffs class that's coming up September 14th, live on Zoom. It will be recorded if you can't make it, but click that link if you're interested. Joining us, Ray told me not to say too many nice things about him. I'm going to do it anyway, Ray. Ray does incredible demos. If you've never seen one of Ray's demos, he never does a bad one. knock on wood. Sorry, I hope I'm not jinxing you, Ray. But anyway, thanks for being here, everybody.